Hi, I'm Meg Daly, and I'm founder of Friends of the Underline. This was all dirt. Yeah. Everything, side to side, was dirt. There was no lighting, there was no water, there were no plants. Everything here is native. It's designed to attract those beautiful butterflies that you see. They weren't here before.
Wow.
They come here, they eat our plants. That's what they're supposed to do. They leave their cocoons and then they become butterflies. It's pretty magical. This is our sound stage, where we had our ribbon cutting last week. So back here is all native planting. I'm surprised the butterflies are out. They sort of stay away when it's a little chilly. But this is where we'll have our yoga, Zumba, meditation.
There are so many butterflies out right now.
It's really amazing, right? So we have dragonflies, monarchs. Monarchs are now pretty soon going to be on the endangered list.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, actually, let's go this way.
There's someone eating a flower.
You see how it has a hole there? It lays an egg, and then the egg opens up and they eat their way out of the leaf, and then they just eat everything in sight.
Wow.
I like to call them external stomachs.
Yeah.
Yeah, here's more. This is a different kind of caterpillar. It's called a sulfur, and it has a yellow butterfly.
Oh, how cute.
Yeah, so they eat all. Hello. Hello. So they eat these. I think this is called golden shower. This tree. These will get really big and fill out. So you have lots of bike parking. I wish we had a playground because this weekend, like parents were coming out with their kids and just like
playing.
Just play. Yeah. Just do something. You know?
That's awesome.
Oh, I guess they have some soccer going on here right now. This is midi pitch soccer and half court basketball. It's a flex court, so you can do both. All the lighting's LED, so it's energy efficient.
Yeah, a lot more quiet over here.
Yeah, this is called the river room because the Miami River is right there.
Yeah.
And again, these are all plants meant to attract butterflies. We have a big weeding day we're going to have for volunteers, days in the dirt.
Okay.
So they can get their hands dirty with us.
We'll definitely share that.
Yeah, I mean there's lots of ways to help out. As you can see, just in this first half mile we have 10 acres to maintain.
Yeah.
Right? So we also have historical markers. Throughout the 10 miles we'll have little stories about the history of Miami. This is about the Brickell founding family. All of this here is a dog-friendly area.
Okay.
Everybody who lives there, and there,
they must have been so excited when this came out.
Oh God.
We all just want a place to walk around and be like safe and
to hang.
Yeah.
You know, and like kids come
especially
out.
Like today's times, wanting because everyone just has to hang out outside.
That's about all we have left to do.
Yeah. So if you want to give our audience kind of a background of who you are and how the story behind Underline.
Sure. Thanks so much for having me.
Of course.
So I'm hearing the kids playing behind us.
Yeah.
So as it turns out, I think the Underline's really for the children of the future of Miami. About 7 years ago, I had a bike accident and broke both of my arms, both here and here. And despite the fact that it hurt a lot, it was very inconvenient getting around. And I've lived in Miami almost my whole life. Driven on US 1, up and down US 1. And I ended up ultimately taking the Metro Rail and walking below the train tracks to get to physical therapy in North Grove. And I've been to the High Line. Whenever I get to a city, the first thing I do is put these on, my kicks. And sort of, I don't know, I sort of follow my nose to nature. And I thought, wow, we have so much land here. It's pretty much dead space. Why don't we turn it into a park below the train tracks above?
Yeah. Wow. So when did the project actually start?
Well, I guess the project started with the idea.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of ideas that don't get implemented.
So how did you get to implement?
I don't know.
Yeah.
What was interesting about this project is that there was no straight path to get anything done. You know, if you want to build a building, you buy your property, you buy your materials, you put your building up.
Yeah.
With a park, maybe it's a city park, a county park, but with the Underline, this is county land. Hi! So it's really like no straight path or playbook on how to get a project like this done. We're on county land with your municipal land alongside. And so I just started talking to people, like, how do you get this done? I went to my dad first, who was the founder of the Performing Arts Center. Yeah, so he knew people, they trusted him, and he said, that's not a crazy idea at all. It's actually a really good idea. So we just knocked on a lot of doors and walked through the ones that opened. The funding for the project is very complicated. County land, county funding, state of Florida, federal funding, as well as city of Coral Gables and city of Miami. That's construction. The maintenance, so once it's built, our team, and we're a nonprofit, take over the maintenance. We conserve, making sure that these plants are still flowering in 20 years and you know, the butterflies are around. And that's, we are privately fundraising for that to be maintained.
Well, so, I mean, what year technically did you start working on this and how?
Well, so I had my accident 7 years ago, and then within about 6 years, we had a studio class at the University of Miami, which really helped people see what could be there. We worked with students from the School of Architecture. And instead of treating it like a classroom, we treated it like a public forum. People were invited in to work with the students. I was able to come in and sort of walk through it like a gallery. 150 people came to the final showing of the student work. It's very unusual.
Wow.
And then once we had that, we had a little momentum and started to work on how do you get it funded, how do you get it built, how do you get it master planned and designed. So we had a public invitation for some of the best design teams in the world to give us their big idea. We selected James Corner Field Operations, who also did the High Line in New York, if you've heard of that, and master planned it in a very short period of time. And then we opened this first half mile called Brickell Backyard just a week ago. And then the remaining 9.5 miles of the 10-mile project will be opening in 2023, and the final 7 miles will open in 2025.
So what do you see the future of the High Line? Like, what are your goals? And what do you think will come from this?
Well, you know, so we have some core values, which include public safety. We've polled people a lot. What do they want most of the Underline? They want to feel safe here. So we have 2 paths, one for pedestrians, one for cyclists, always separated. Lighting, we have security. The next priority for the community is nature. So we focus on sustainability and resiliency and using plants to do everything from mitigating stormwater, to use plants to absorb water and return it to the aquifer, as well as making sure all these birds and butterflies come back. So there's really sort of an introduction of nature into downtown. One of our core values is fun. So you have to be able to play here. I'm a full-time volunteer and have been for 7 years, so if we're not having fun, it's not worth it. Also health and wellness. You know, research shows that, particularly with COVID, that we weren't moving a lot, and this is a great way to move. Just hop on a bike, walk in your neighborhood.
I feel like this couldn't have come out at a better time. Like, even though it's sad circumstances, but having this opportunity for everyone to be out here and getting to like be in the beautiful nature, because the city here is so, like, we used to walk around here and there was never really a good place to really feel safe, other than just on the main avenue, and there's still so many cars. I've actually seen someone get into a really bad accident on a bike, a car hitting him, and that was traumatic watching that. So I've seen it happen in Miami, and I feel like almost everyone has a story of, oh, I've seen that person get hit by a bike, I've seen someone fall off. So I feel like this is just amazing. I'm so happy that we have this opportunity here to just be out here and feel safe and walk around.
Well, I thank you for that, you know, because you brought up one of the most important parts about safety is this is one of the most dangerous places where we live.
Yes.
In Miami-Dade County is one of the most dangerous places to walk and bike in the country.
Yeah.
And so if we can be part of that movement to say that we want safe places to walk and bike. There was an event today for Bike 305, which is the county's bike initiative, to get people to bike to work.
Yeah.
Right? So maybe we can get kids to bike to school. Maybe we can say, hey, you don't want to ride your bike all the way to work, but maybe you'll just ride your bike or walk to the train instead of parking and driving. And one of the things we looked at and studied was what would the impact of the Underline do on traffic flow. Turns out it would improve traffic because less cars would be on the road just for those short trips. So one of our other core values is innovation, which is how do we use this as a space for smart technology for plants.
Part of it.
It's the real deal, man. That's it. How are we leveraging technology? So we received a grant from the Knight Foundation to see how we can pioneer technology in public spaces so they can be safer, also help with maintenance, help with the experience of the visitor. We saw our historical marker. You'll be able to ultimately hold up your smartphone and get like a whole curriculum on who the brickles are and why the scarlet sage is an important plant, what oolite is,
Everything is
sitting.
intentional here.
Everything has a point. So yes, thank you. Except for our water fountains that are covered up right now because of COVID. But they have dog bowls.
So what advice would you give someone who wants to do something for their community but they're not sure what to do?
Well, first of all, be prepared. And be very comfortable with being uncomfortable. So your idea may have nothing to do with what your schooling is or what your career is. Doesn't mean it's a bad idea. You just may not have a clear roadmap of how to get there. So I find that the Public Space Challenge through the Miami Foundation, if you want to do something in public spaces, it's free. It's a really easy entry, and then they pick like 10 or 15 projects that they support with a small grant. That's a great way to get started. If you don't want to go the route of a grant and getting help, you know, go do it. Right? Go do it. Sometimes you don't have to ask for permission. You might have to ask for forgiveness, but you don't always have to ask for permission.
I love that answer. That's perfect. So for our audience who wants to learn more from you, if you can just share like where they can reach out.
Well, our website, theunderline.org. Also follow us on social media, The Underline MIA. Once we're through COVID, there'll be free exercise, health and wellness programs here, yoga, meditation, Zumba, all brought to you by Baptist Health South Florida. I can't wait either. Baptist Health is our sponsor there. We'll have programs in the soundstage. We walk past that. Cultural programs. We have a ballet this Sunday. It's one of our first in-person cultural events, and that'll take place in the Soundstage Plaza by FPL. All that's going to be on our website. And if you just sign up, you'll get an email notifying you what to do. Plus, go to the events page. We have lots of information.
Awesome. Thank you for taking the time to speak to me. I'm so happy we got to meet and actually speak. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Yes.
Thank you.